Okay, hello and welcome to my Monday coffee and card feature. We are 12:30 here in the UK and pretty grim outside, so it's quite nice to escape and have a bit of crafty fun. We'll wait for a few people to join before we get going, but today I'm going to be using scraps of paper, Desginer series paper to be precise. Desginer series papers are the papers that we offer in our Stampin' Up catalogues. They come in all different varieties. Hello everybody! I'm starting to see a few people join. So I'm using specifically the Best Dressed Desginer series paper, which is in our January to June Mini Catalogue. I'll be sharing all the details of this on my blog later on, and it is actually part of a blog hop, so excited to share that with you all. Hello to anyone who's watching the replay. Hi Kayla, lovely to see you all the way from Oz, exciting. So today we're doing some paper piecing, which is really fab way of using up all those little scraps of DSP that we all hoard. Let's be honest, we all hoard those little pieces. And there's two different designs. So there's this one here, and all I've used here is strips of 2 centimetre wide pieces of DSP. So again, a really great way to use up those scraps. These patterns here all coordinate with each other as part of the Best Dressed DSP, and this is the card we're going to make today, or a version of it, using these little diagonal strips. Okay, so we'll get going with that particular one. This one here is more straightforward. It's just 2 centimetre strips that I've just placed on the card and attached in diagonal lines. So, great way, great technique. Okay, so let's get started, and I'm going to use the mini trimmer, which was part of the joining deal back during celebration, so January to March of this year. Okay, really handy for a project like this. Hello to everybody who's joining. I can just about see comments, so a few people from the UK, a couple of people from Australia, which I just think is bonkers, absolutely love it, but it just blows my mind that people are watching me from the other side of the world. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got a card base, which is, oh, it's got a bit of ink there, but we can use that. This is a Whisper White thick card base, standard C6 size, so it's 10.5 centimetres wide by the length of your A4. And then here I have a piece of Whisper White that will be our top piece. So I find with these cards, the easiest way to create them is by using an extra piece. I think it's lovely that you get that extra border. It just makes it a bit easier to create. So we're going to use that, put our card base to one side, and the colours that I've chosen today from the Best Dressed DSP, I have the shoes, which is lovely mint macaron. Hi Christine. We have this lovely flower design in white, and that's Highland Heather. And then on the back it's got those beautiful pink flowers, love them. This one here, a mixture of Highland Heather, mint macaron, and then some So Saffron, and then these are the flowers I'm going to use for the top, which is Blackberry Bliss. So let's get started. So the technique with this card for the paper piecing is we're going to use diagonal strips. You can see I've used this piece before. We're going to line these up in our trimmer, our paper cutter, sorry, and just cut diagonal strips off. Okay, so what I'm doing, I've got that diagonal edge there, so I've lined it up at the top so it's nice and straight, and then just cut down. So we have one piece, and then for this one I'm going to turn it over. I want to use both sides of this DSP because it's so pretty. And the trick with the paper cutter, if you have this, is always hold this piece of plastic down, otherwise it doesn't like to cut. Okay, and then all we're going to do is these will be pieced together, and you can just line these up on your grid paper, and then you can kind of get the idea as to how this will look as you build it up. So I have my diagonal edge here, so I'm popping it in so it's nice and straight. We will cut. Oh, didn't hold it. It doesn't cut if you don't hold that piece down. I think these colours look really pretty together as well. So then you're going to line up the diagonal edge with your straight edge. sorry, you're going to line up your two straight edges together when you get to the straight edge piece. So we have a straight edge here, so we're going to pop that in diagonally, and it's up to you how thick you want to go with this. So I'm going quite thin. The thinner you go, the more pieces you end up with on your card. So you don't need big pieces of paper at all, really. So that would be my shoes upside down. So you just have to be mindful of the way your pattern is going as well. I've learnt that the hard way. So let's just line these up here. Yep. And just keep going until you're happy with what you've got. And when you think it will cover the piece of card that you've got. That is now a straight edge. There we are. Just line it up with your paper to see if you have enough. So yeah, I think we now have enough. I'm just going to cut one more. I want this nice purple. And then we can start building. Bonjour Sophie, lovely for you to join us. Okay. So we're doing a bit of paper piecing this morning, and I'm using some of the Best Dressed DSP. So I think I'm done with that now. So I'm bringing in my top layer, and then all I'm going to do is transfer these pieces across. So I am going to leave just a really thin border, thin edge of white along that edge, and then we can attach these to our card. Make sure the shoes are up the right way. So I always start with a straight piece. So if I show you this edge here is one of my original straight edges. So you start with the straight and then you go to the diagonal. Okay, so this one is the next diagonal piece, like so. Oh yes, Rebecca, I did get my rainbow. Thank you so much. I've been meaning to message you. It is on display in my kitchen window and I love it. So my cousin Becca, who's on here, she has been crocheting some beautiful rainbows for people to hang in their windows, and they just look fab. Okay, and she's also been raising money for charity by doing them. So how much are you up to now, Rebecca? Please tell us. The glue is nearly running out. So you'll also see as I'm putting these together, I'm letting the pieces overhang, and then what we'll do after, once we're happy with what we've got, we will go back and we will cut off all the excess. Okay. It's actually quite nice and therapeutic, this. I find it quite nice. £400 so far, that is amazing. Well done, Beck, I'm really proud of you. Brilliant. So it's so nice to see people raising lots of different money, doing lots of different things to raise money. It's so nice. Alexis, you've ordered 2. Well done, beautiful. They honestly do look fab in the window. Okay, so I'm just carrying on with my piecing. Oh, upside down, see, wrong way. So I'm doing thin edge to thick edge. So we've got thin and thick, thin and thick, thin and thick. We're just carrying on. See, that one there I feel is too big, because we've got this big yellow one here and now this big yellow one. So I'm going to cut another one, because then we won't have room for this one. Okay, this is why I find it nice to, so if someone's just asked a question, I've got mine okay and it's lovely but keeps falling over. I've just used a bit of blue tack actually to put mine up to the window. Right, so we need a straight edge there and a thick edge at the bottom. So let's see if this works. I'm going to cut that bit off, which I don't need. Actually, it would have been easier if I just turned it round. So we need a thick edge at the bottom. That's it. Moving that out. A lot of this is done by eye, none of it is really too technical. Okay, so we now have that one there like so. Dear me. Yeah, I just used, Jenny, just a bit of, quite a big dollop of blue tack at the top and stuck it to the wood. I think it might actually be stuck to, we've got a poster in the window for the NHS. I think it's actually stuck to one of those. Okay, so now we have that one there like so. Lots of people coming in with their ideas now. Okay, so that's on there. Now we've left with this little edge down here, which you can either leave it as it is, or you can add something else into it. So I'm just going to add another little piece of the green, just to see if that will fit. Bring it down where you're happy. So that works about there. So then I've still got a little bit of a white border. Okay. So it is all about eye with this one. But I think it looks really effective. Bringing that down a bit more. That's it. So there we have our paper piercing sheet. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to trim off all of these excess pieces here, which I'm just using my paper snips for. That's it, like so. Hi to everyone who's joining. Lots of you on this morning, it's lovely. There we have our final piece. It was like that because the shoes are then up the right way. So then all we need to do is we just need to add that to our card like so, which I'm going to do with a bit more Tombow. So for those of you that are joining, we're just doing some paper piecing using not a lot of DSP, double-sided Desginer series paper, or some people call it double-sided paper. So I've just cut some strips at angles and mounted them on. Now I need a bit of extra Whisper White, and I'm going to use this die here to cut out a little label. This is from the Stitched So Sweetly dies that look like this. So you get lots of scalloped rectangles and then you get these lovely shapes here. Really handy. I'm just going to wheel that through the Big Shot. I don't like to bring that into screen because it makes the camera shake. These dies are lovely, and these dies are carrying over into the next annual catalogue, we found out, which is great. So you can see it just leaves a bit of stitching around the edge. Okay, so then we're going to stamp a lovely little sentiment. The sentiment I've used on the sample card. is a happy birthday. So that sentiment comes from the Peaceful Moments stamp set, which is also carrying forward. For those of you that are not sure what I'm talking about, we got to see the new annual catalogue demonstrators did last week. So the catalogue that comes in June, and there's so much carrying over from the Mini Catalogue. It's very exciting. So you'll start to see lots of more hype about that. And we have the retired list, so we know what's carrying forward and we know what's going, which is great. So we've got Happy Birthday there, which I'm going to attach using a few dimensionals. Like so, and we'll just stick that about there. And then we're going to use the Life is Better with a Friend Like You stamp, because that doesn't really fill, that sentiment doesn't really fill that very well. So I need a new piece of Whisper White, because that's not big enough. So we're going to stamp this on here. I'm using Memento for my stamping today, but you could use some of the colours from the DSP if you wanted to. DSP stuck to my scissors. So then this, I'm just quickly going to fussy cut around this, and it is quite rough, but I think it's quite nice when it's cut out into a little extra piece for your cards. Oh, no worries, Jackie. Lovely to have you with us. Hope you're okay. We are doing some paper piecing this morning. So just using up lots of our scrap Desginer series paper or cardstock. It does look lovely with cardstock to create our cards. This is our card that we've started putting together. I'm just doing the sentiments for it as we speak. Using the Peaceful Moments stamp set for our sentiments, and again this is another one that you will see in next year's annual catalogue. This coordinates with the poppies in the current catalogue, current mini catalogue, but you will, when you do see the new catalogue, you will see lots of other inspiration using this stamp set. Thank you, Jackie, it's really kind of you. I'm just fussy cutting this little sentiment. Okay, so we have that there, and that will go on there like so. Now you can leave that quite plain if you wanted to. My original, I've used some of the flowers that I've cut out, so I will do that again. I'm just trying to find my DSP with them on. Okay, so these are the flowers. So I will quickly just fussy cut around one of those to add on. I love this purple colour, Blackberry Bliss. It's such a rich, velvety colour. I don't use it very often though. I should use it more. No coffee and card would be complete for me without a bit of fussy cutting, and I think that purple just sits really nicely with the other colours on this DSP. Let's have this leaf here. All I'm doing is I'm just picking out the images that I like, just to add on a little bit more to our card and finish it off. add that there and that there. So I'm going to stick my flower down first. I'll use a little bit of Tombow for that. And we'll put a leaf just in there. So I've just pushed that in where the Tombow is. And then life is better with a friend like you. So that will sit on there just like that. Like so. Okay. So there we have our finished card front. So I've got these lovely strips of DSP, all cut at different angles and layered in. We have our die cut piece from our Stitched So Sweetly dies, and we've stamped Happy Birthday onto it, which comes from the Peaceful Moments stamp set. This sentiment here also comes from Peaceful Moments, which I've just fussy cut around, and the flower comes from another piece of the DSP that I've fussy cut with the leaf and just added it back on. And then inside I will add another piece of Whisper White just to finish that off and make that card feel a bit more sturdy. Move my scraps out of the way, and that's covered that splodge of green I had on my card base, which who knows where that came from. What you could do if you wanted to, you could add in just another little strip there that you've cut out, just to bring the front and the back together, which I'm going to do. I love all these little details that go into cards. It just shows that it's been really thought about. There we have our little strip to bring the front and the middle together. Okay, so our finished card, this was our sample card that we had to start with, and I've actually layered the strips that way, but to show you something a bit different, I've layered them vertically, so horizontal and vertical, just two different types of paper piecing. And then the other card I showed at the beginning is this one here, so this is slightly different. I've used 2 centimetre strips of DSP that have been cut straight and then just layered them onto my card in a different pattern, just carrying down again the same banner, same stamp set, and some more of the fussy cut flowers. So that's me done for today. A real quick one this morning, only 23 minutes, not bad, eh? Which means I can go and join my family for lunch. So thank you so much to everyone who's watching or has watched today. I've really enjoyed being with you. These Best Dressed Designer Series papers are still available at the moment. Because they are retiring and won't be in the new annual catalogue, they're only available while stocks last, so you can still get them at the moment. I double checked before I came on, they were available, and they are, so you can purchase those from the online shop now. Feel free to use the Hostess code and I will send you a little gift next month. And that's it from me, so same time next week, 12:30 next Monday for coffee and card, or join me at 8:30 on Wednesday evening, British summertime, for my weekly 2 cards, and I have no idea what they will look like yet, so I'll make those in the next couple of days. Thanks everyone, have a great week and see you all soon. Take care, bye.